On this episode, we're installing the carburetor and the linkage and the little monkey the arm and the little actuator rod. So I took the carb off to disassemble, clean, reassemble. There's a video on that. This is the original gasket. I'm not changing it. It's fine. It's not damaged. It's not cracked. It's not torn. I put the rag in there for when I'm working so I don't accidentally destroy everything by dropping something in there. So this is the cleaned carburetor. Everything's clean down there. Everything's clean up there. I put in the sonic cleaner. It looks nice. I took the choke mechanism off. It didn't get cleaned. Everything's moving as it should. So the gasket's already on there. All we have to do is set it down over the studs. Kind of like that. So for these carbs, I use a washer and then a lock washer. And then this one that's underneath everything is the biggest challenge. But you can do it. I know you can. The next thing I'm going to use is some Loctite on the nut. These things will back off because of the vibrations and stuff like that. And then what happens is your car starts fine. And it idles, and you take off, and you get all the way warmed up, and then it bogs, chokes, spits, backfires, loses power. And this one is being difficult. Definitely not straight. Got it. So these are nylock nuts, but I don't think my stud is long enough to get to the nylock part. And that's because I added this base to raise the carburetor up, and then I got two 10mm spacers on there, so it's like a mini tunnel ram. And sometimes these new lock washers need a smash. It's absolutely not going to go on. But it does now. So when you're tightening these things, you want to get them tight, but don't tighten so much that you're going to damage something. Until you get them all snug, because uneven pressures, cracking. This one you have to use a spanner. So this spanner has been filed or ground down because you've got throttle mechanism on this side, you've got choke mechanism over here. Light always helps. So I'm getting 1/4 of a turn per. Okay, I'm snug. So we want to go with about 10 to 15 foot-pounds. And I only say that because it's a M8 stud, which, you know, normally calls for 15 to 18. But it's a carburetor, and you don't want to accidentally snap it, and you could really only get a torque wrench on these 3. That one you're going to have to guess. So I got it set to 8, and we'll see what it feels like. And it feels like that's it. Nothing's happening. 3, 4, 5, 6. Three, 4, 5, 6, 6. Three, 4, 5, 6. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tool on this, and I'm going to give it a twist. That's really hard. So I'm going to come and do this one. Check it again. 6. The other thing you could use to help them from not back out is one of these copper exhaust nuts. So this nut's made out of copper, and it has a ridge in it, and it's for exhaust studs, and then the ridge kind of bites into the stud to keep it from backing out. But my nylocks weren't tall enough. This one wouldn't be tall enough. There's no fuel in it. Battery's disconnected. It's always a good idea because when you drop a tool, this is hot, that's hot. You could spark it up. So next we're going to put on our linkage. So it took me a while to bend this like this to get this set up, but it worked. Put some grease on these swivel points. They're prone to rust, and then proper adjustment is 0 pull. So I want to put this one on, and I'm going to put this one on, and so it's closed. When I move it like this, when I move it like this, the throttle linkage on the butterflies doesn't move. So I got to pull tension to get it to move. I could probably even dial this up but it's fine. And then these little holders slide over and snap into place. So when we mash the gas, we get full throttle. Right about there. Okay. So carburetor's on, linkage is hooked up. Throw some fuel in it. I was looking for this. I'm weird. I'm not gonna have to take it off for a while. Just wait for it. Wait for it. These clamps give you a better squeeze, more circular. To rip them off, you gotta pry this tab off. So I kind of like to line them up where I can get to the tab. Then they make this tool, and you just grab it and squeeze it. And it's tight. I didn't use those when I did this car 7 years ago, but I used them all over the Fiasco, and I like these better than regular old hose clamps. I checked all of these already. So we have fuel in, fuel return. This is all finished. So this is just plugging a hole. This is my choke. Power source. So it's running a K&N filter. Yes, it's dirty. I know. I will clean it when I clean the car. I just want to pop it on for now. So I don't accidentally drop anything into the black hole of the abyss, otherwise known as the carburetor. So this car doesn't run a vacuum advance. There's no hose going all the way over to the distributor. So I'm plugging this vacuum port with a plug. When it showed up last week, this was missing. So it fell off, pulled off. Somebody borrowed it. So carb is done. We could fire it up, but we're not. First, change the oil. And then we have to lower it down and jack it up so we can add coolant. And then we can fire it up, which may not be tonight. So that's all for carburetor install. Next video, the next video will be starting the car. So the distributor came out when we changed the timing belt and pulled the cam box off. We put the distributor on. I took the carburetor off, took it completely apart, cleaned it in the sonic cleaner, put it all back together, retimed the car. So what we want is when we fire the car up, we're just going to get this to work. Like just work, just run. We're going to adjust the ignition before we adjust the carb. Because if we adjust the carb and then adjust the ignition, we're going to have to readjust the carb. So only touch the carburetor after the ignition timing is perfect. It's the only way I can say it. So that's what's up next. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.